Here is a real nice realistic cassette deck. 3-head. It does not have any overcurrent protection in it from the factory on the primary side of the power transformer, but on the secondary side you can see there's 2 fuses right there, but that doesn't help for protecting the primary side, so we're going to put a fuse on the primary side. And I took the wire off the switchboard there, and it's going to be too short to go down to the fuse block, so we're going to have to splice a wire onto it. So we're going to clean all the solder off of this board here. Okay, there, I got the hole pumped out. But I see a lot on the other side here where the power cord was going in. So I'm going to lift the cord wire up, down this hole. There, now it's all nice and clean. Okay, now we're going to splice onto this here, go down to the fuse block. Gets a little bit long, so I'm going to take okay, we're going to twist these together here. Okay, now there's a nice mechanical twist there. Okay, we're going to take a little flux, put some on the splice there where the wires are twisted together. Being careful not to untwist them. Then we'll take our soldering iron, tin the iron, drop some solder right on that splice. See how the solder flows right through? Okay, now we're going to let that cool. And look at the other side. Good solder joint on both sides. Now we're going to take some heat shrink. Go down over the splice. And we'll just shrink this heat shrink down. This is called a heat shrink gun. Let that cool a little bit. Now I'll get the other wire to go over. To the fuse block from the switch. So we're going to take this wire here. You always strip it with the hole that matches the size of the wire. Okay, I'm going to twist all these strands together. I'm going to tin them so I get all the I'm making sure all my strands are tinned. We come up through that hole there. Okay, I can take a little flux here and put some on the board so I get a good solder joint. Okay, I'm going to clean my iron again. Okay, there's a nice solder joint. Now we're going to come back to this wire I had to make longer here. And again, I'm heat shrinking it. And maybe I could even get one more piece over that down where the splice is. I'm going to see if I can. Yes, I can. So I'm going to get another longer one up to here. So I'm going to go down over that splice one more time. Okay, I got the long piece of heat shrink down to the transformer, and I'll just shrink that down. Okay, that's all nice and set. So I put the heat shrink gun on cool. Now we can come back over here and clip this excess wire off the top of the board. Now we're going to bring this wire around. This wire can come down to the fuse block. Okay, so now we're going to take the fuse block. And we're going to mount it right down here. I'm going to put a sleeve over this wire that goes back up to the switch for some extra protection. Nope, I can't get through that way, so I'm going to bring this wire all the way back. Now I'll go ahead and shrink this one up too a little bit. This way the wire will have a little extra protection. Again, this is heat shrink. Okay, we're done with the heat shrink gun now. We're going to turn it off and let it cool. Okay, now here's the two wires. Okay, so we're going to strip the wire according to the size. Go into the block, go around, make a nice tight mechanical bind. Then we're going to take some flux, put it on the wire. Put some solder on the iron. Heat the terminal and the wire. Again, I'm heating the wire and the terminal, and the solder flows. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Strip it according to the wire size. Okay, the heat gun cooled, so I turned it off. I go in. And I come back up and around, wrap it around so it's a nice tight mechanical bind. See how everything's all nice and tight? Okay, then again I'm going to put some flux on both sides of the terminal. Well, my iron needs to be cleaned again. Now I'm going to tin the iron up again. Heat the terminal and the wire. See how that solder flowed? So I'm going to have to add a little more. There's a nice flow. Got some on both sides. Okay, so we're done with the soldering. We're going to just look at it, see how nice solder joint it is on both sides. Okay, I don't like how that one looks on this side, so I'm going to add a little more on this side. There. Now there's solder. Okay, there, that looks... Well, I have a little bare here, so I'm going to add some more here too. There, okay, now I got all the bare copper covered and a good solder joint. Okay, so you can see there's a complete solder joint on both sides, no copper showing, and I'll turn it over, no copper showing on either side. and then we'll drill a hole and we'll mount it right there. So I'm done with the soldering iron, so I'm going to tin it up real good. Unplug it. And we're going to mount this fuse block right here. So I'm going to just drill a hole right there.